What if two Catholic priests stood side by side, one wearing a Roman collar, the other in a long beard and golden robes, each praying in different languages, each shaped by centuries of unique tradition, but both offering the same sacrifice of the Mass? Would you know they were brothers in the same church? Many Catholics, whether from the Latin tradition or the Eastern rites, are only vaguely familiar with the richness of the other. For Latin Catholics, the sight of a married priest with children or an icon-filled liturgy may seem foreign. For Eastern Catholics, the structured seminarian path and Roman liturgical discipline can feel distant. And yet, both expressions are fully and equally Catholic, united under one faith, one Eucharist, and one shepherd. In this exploration of the top 5 differences between Eastern Catholic and Latin priests, we do not seek to compare in opposition, but to reflect in wonder. These differences are not signs of division, but expressions of an ancient and holy diversity. Whether you are a Latin Catholic curious about your Eastern brothers, or an Eastern Catholic seeking to appreciate your Latin heritage, this journey will deepen your love for the universal Church and for the mystery of the priesthood that serves her. Number 5. Married priesthood, the norm versus the exception. Perhaps the most dramatic difference lies in the question of marriage. In the Eastern Catholic churches, it is common, even expected, for priests to be married. The condition is that marriage must occur before ordination. Once ordained, if a priest's wife dies, he cannot remarry. This discipline reflects ancient tradition rooted in both Scripture and the early Church, where married clergy were the norm, not the exception. From the Melkite to the Syro-Malabar churches, many Eastern parishes are led by married priests who raise families while serving the altar. Contrast this with the Latin Church, where celibacy has been the norm for over a millennium. Since the Second Lateran Council in 1139, priestly ordination in the West has been reserved to unmarried men who vow perpetual celibacy. Exceptions do exist, such as for former Anglican or Lutheran ministers who convert and are later ordained as Catholic priests, but these are rare and highly regulated. For most Latin Catholics, the idea of a married priest seems foreign, though it is entirely legitimate within the broader Catholic communion. This divergence isn't about doctrine, but about discipline, a living testimony to the Church's ability to honor both unity and diversity. Number 4. Liturgy, symbolism versus simplicity. Attend a divine liturgy in an Eastern Catholic church, and you will be enveloped in incense, ancient chant, elaborate vestments, and sacred iconography. The divine liturgy of St. John Chrysostom, or St. Basil, is long, poetic, and mystical. The priest often chants the entire liturgy, with the congregation responding in song. The sanctuary may be separated by an iconostasis, and gestures are abundant: bowing, crossing oneself, incensing, and prostrations. For Eastern Catholics, the liturgy is not merely a rite, it is a living icon of heaven on earth. The Latin rite, particularly in its modern form, the Novus Ordo, tends toward clarity, accessibility, and didactic simplicity. While solemn and sacred, the Roman liturgy emphasizes structure and brevity. Latin priests are encouraged to preach homilies, engage directly with the congregation, and foster participation through vernacular language and simplified rubrics. Traditional Latin Mass, Tridentine Rite, retains more ceremonial elements, but still contrasts with the Eastern approach in tone and atmosphere. These liturgical differences reflect theological emphases. The East leans toward mystery and transcendence. The West highlights clarity and reason. Yet both aim to lead souls to the same Eucharistic Christ, expressed through their unique liturgical genius. Number 3. Vestments and appearance, more than fabric. Eastern Catholic priests are instantly recognizable by their distinctive appearance. Many grow full beards, following the tradition of the Eastern Fathers, who saw the beard as a sign of manhood and priestly dignity. Their liturgical vestments are intricate and symbolic. The phalonion, a flowing outer garment, the epitrachelion, a long stole, and the zone, a belt, are just a few pieces with rich meanings. Head coverings such as the kamilavka or skufia are also common. In the Latin Church, the priest's external appearance is more reserved. Clean-shaven faces are the norm, and liturgical dress includes the alb, cincture, stole, and chasuble. Outside of Mass, Latin priests often wear a simple black clerical shirt with Roman collar, whereas their Eastern counterparts may wear long cassocks and head coverings daily. These differences are not superficial. They reflect the theological and cultural traditions from which each priesthood springs. While Latin clerics project Roman discipline and sobriety, Eastern clergy embody the mysticism and splendor of Byzantine, Syriac, or Alexandrian heritage. Neither is superior. Each reveals a different aspect of the same mystery of holy orders. Number 2, formation, seminary versus community roots. Priestly formation in the Latin Church is typically centralized. Candidates attend seminaries for 6 to 9 years, studying philosophy, theology, scripture, liturgy, and pastoral practice. They live in a celibate environment, often separated from ordinary parish life, and are expected to cultivate a deep interior life centered on discipline and spiritual maturity. In contrast, Eastern Catholic formation often reflects a more localized, community-based model. While seminaries exist, some churches emphasize training within the context of family life, especially if the candidate is married. Formation includes not only intellectual formation, but integration into the worshiping life of the community. The experience of being a father, husband, and spiritual leader simultaneously shapes an Eastern priest's pastoral identity. The result is two models of priestly presence, one contemplative and ecclesially structured, the other domestic and incarnational. Both approaches are valid, grounded in tradition, and oriented toward forming shepherds after the heart of Christ. Number 1, ecclesial role and community presence. In Eastern Catholicism, the priest is often the visible heart of the local church. He not only leads liturgy but embodies the faith of his people. Especially in diaspora communities, the priest is a cultural guardian, a unifier, and a spiritual father. His proximity to his bishop is often close, and his authority may be more relational than bureaucratic. In some cases, a married priest is more accessible to families because he himself lives family life. By contrast, Latin priests operate within a more juridical structure. Parishes are parts of dioceses, which are hierarchical entities governed by canon law. Latin priests answer to their bishops in a formal way and often serve in large impersonal parishes where administrative demands can be high. Their role is no less sacred, but it unfolds in a more institutional framework. Still, both models aim at one mission: to sanctify, to shepherd, and to serve. Whether through incense or silence, through icons or tabernacles, the priest's vocation remains the same: to bring Christ to his people and his people to Christ. The differences between Eastern and Latin priests are not signs of division, but of the Church's beautiful multiplicity. Unity in essentials, diversity in non-essentials. This maxim holds true in the priesthood as much as in doctrine. The Latin Church offers a vision of celibate commitment, structured formation, and Roman precision. The Eastern churches offer a vision of liturgical depth, married witness, and incarnational leadership. Rather than comparing, we should contemplate. Each priest, whether Latin or Eastern, stands in persona Christi, configured to the eternal high priest. Their vestments, their liturgies, their family situations may differ, but their hearts burn with the same fire, the love of Christ and the salvation of souls. And that unity, amid diversity, is the very soul of Catholicity,